Most people grow up hearing that the key to financial success lies in studying hard, getting a good job, and working diligently until retirement. But what if that idea is wrong? What if, in reality, financial security doesn't come from a stable job, but from knowledge about money, investments, and assets? Robert Kiyosaki challenged this mindset and revolutionized the way millions of people view their finances. He is not just a best-selling author, but a financial educator who practices what he preaches. With his direct and often controversial approach, he has opened many people's eyes to a simple yet powerful truth. Wealth isn't found in a paycheck, but in the assets we build. But how did he come to this realization? How did a Hawaiian boy, the son of a university professor, become one of the world's most influential financial thinkers? Robert Kiyosaki's story is not only inspiring, but also packed with practical lessons that anyone can apply to their own life. In this script, we will dive into Kiyosaki's journey from his childhood to his rise as one of the greatest advocates of financial education. Along the way, we'll explore how his experiences shaped his views on wealth, the challenges he faced, and the lessons he shares with the world. Get ready to discover the story of the man who dared to question everything we were taught about money and, in doing so, help millions rethink their own financial future. Robert Kiyosaki was born in 1947 in Hawaii, a paradise-like place that, like any other, has its financial inequalities. From an early age, he was exposed to two completely different worlds, represented by two father figures who shaped his perspective on money: his biological father and his best friend's father. His real father, whom he refers to as Poor Dad, was a highly educated man. With a doctorate in education, he held an important government position and firmly believed in the traditional path to success: studying hard, securing a stable job, and climbing the corporate ladder. However, despite his intelligence and academic credentials, he struggled financially and never achieved financial independence. On the other side was his best friend's father, whom Kiyosaki calls Rich Dad. This man did not have a college degree but was a successful entrepreneur, owning multiple businesses and real estate. He believed that true wealth came from financial intelligence and the ability to make money work for you, not the other way around. From a young age, Kiyosaki realized that these two father figures had completely opposite views on money, careers, and investments. While his poor dad encouraged him to study hard to secure a good job, his rich dad taught him that the key was to acquire financial knowledge and build assets that generate passive income. This contrast made him question everything he was taught in school. After all, if the traditional path led to financial stability, why were so many educated people still struggling to pay their bills? Why did those who understood money differently, like his rich dad, manage to thrive without relying on a paycheck? This was the turning point in his journey of learning, one that would change his life forever. Kiyosaki decided to follow the teachings of his rich dad, and from that moment on began developing his own perspective on finance, business, and investments. But the road ahead wouldn't be easy. He would have to challenge deeply ingrained beliefs, take risks, and learn from his own mistakes. In the next chapters of this story, we'll see how his experiences led him to build an empire and, more importantly, to share with the world the secrets he learned along the way. Our understanding of money can shape our financial future. But there was a problem. The traditional education system taught nothing about it. His poor dad believed that a good salary was the key to a stable life, while his rich dad insisted that the real secret was making money work for you. As a young boy, Kiyosaki was fascinated by this difference in mindset and decided to learn from his rich dad. That's how he received his first major lesson about money. One day, Rich Dad offered him a job, paying just a few cents per hour. Kiyosaki accepted, but soon became frustrated with the low wages. He wanted more money, so he went to complain. The response was surprising. If you want to earn more money, you need to learn to think like an investor and entrepreneur, not like an employee. To prove his point, Rich Dad made him work for free. The purpose was simple: to teach that money should not be the sole motivator. True wealth comes from the ability to see opportunities where others see only obstacles. At that moment, Kiyosaki learned his second major lesson. Rich people don't work for money. They make money work for them. From this experience, he began to see the world in a new way. He realized that most people work to earn a paycheck and pay their bills, never truly thinking about how to make their money grow. Rich Dad taught him that instead of relying on a job, he should focus on building assets, businesses, real estate, and investments that would generate income without requiring his active labor. This mindset would shape his entire life. But before he could fully apply these lessons, Kiyosaki would have to face even greater challenges, including his time in the military and his first attempts in the business world. In the next chapters, we'll see how he put Rich Dad's teachings into practice and how his failures prepared him for success. Before becoming a renowned entrepreneur and author, Robert Kiyosaki chose an unconventional path for someone interested in finance. He joined the United States Marine Corps. Many might wonder, what could a future financial educator possibly learn in the military? For Kiyosaki, this experience was invaluable. He not only gained discipline and resilience, but he also learned a crucial lesson for any investor or entrepreneur: the ability to face and manage risk. His time in the military taught him a lesson he would carry into his financial life. Fear should never be the deciding factor in your choices. On the battlefield, hesitation could cost you your life. In the world of investing, fear can paralyze a person and prevent them from seizing great opportunities. Kiyosaki served as a helicopter pilot during the Vietnam War, and this experience reinforced his belief that many people live in fear of making mistakes, losing money, or stepping out of their comfort zone. Rich Dad had already taught him that the wealthy don't avoid risks, they learn to manage them. After leaving the military, he decided to continue his education, but not in the traditional way. Instead of pursuing a conventional career, he wanted to explore the world of business and investments. But that didn't mean the road would be easy. In the next chapters, we'll see how Kiyosaki faced bankruptcies, failures, and financial struggles before finally finding success. After all, most people see failure as the end of a journey. But Kiyosaki learned that failure is just part of the learning process. After leaving the military, Robert Kiyosaki chose the path of entrepreneurship. He knew he wanted to build assets and achieve financial independence, but he still had to figure out how to do that in practice. That's when he took his first steps into the business world and also faced his first major failures. His first major business venture was a company that produced nylon and Velcro wallets. At the time, the market was booming and the wallets became an instant success. Kiyosaki and his partners made a lot of money quickly, but they made a mistake common among inexperienced entrepreneurs. They didn't know how to manage growth. The success was short-lived. As competition increased, the company lost its market share, and before long it went into decline. The business failed, leaving Kiyosaki in debt and forcing him to start over from scratch. It was a harsh setback, but also a valuable lesson. He realized that simply making money didn't mean he knew how to grow and protect it. The bankruptcy of his first company could have marked the end of his journey, but he refused to give up. Instead, he used the experience to become a smarter investor and a more resilient entrepreneur. He understood that wealth isn't just about how much money comes in, it's about how much you can keep and multiply. In the years that followed, Kiyosaki continued launching businesses, always learning from his mistakes and applying Rich Dad's teachings. This eventually led him into the world of real estate investing, where he began building the assets that would later give him financial freedom. But the true turning point in his life was still ahead. His greatest impact on the world wouldn't come just from his investments, but from his decision to share his financial knowledge with millions of people around the globe. In the next chapters, we'll see how he became one of the world's leading financial educators and how Rich Dad, Poor Dad forever changed the way people think about money. After experiencing the ups and downs of the business world, Robert Kiyosaki began to realize something fundamental. Most people's problem wasn't a lack of money, it was a lack of knowledge about how to manage and grow it. He saw people earning good salaries but still living paycheck to paycheck. He saw entrepreneurs with brilliant ideas fail because they didn't know how to handle their finances. He saw investors making basic mistakes simply because no one had ever taught them the difference between an asset and a liability. That's when Kiyosaki decided to shift his focus. Instead of just pursuing profitable businesses, he wanted to teach people how to think like the wealthy, regardless of how much money they had at the time. He wanted to share the lessons he had learned from Rich Dad and show the world that anyone can achieve financial independence if they learn the rules of the money game. With this mission in mind, he began giving lectures on finance and investing. However, he realized that many people struggled to grasp financial concepts because they had never been taught them in school. He needed a simple and accessible way to get his message across. That's when the idea for a book was born, one that would change his life and the lives of millions around the world. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. When Kiyosaki wrote the book, his goal was simple: to challenge traditional beliefs about money and present a new path to financial freedom. He wanted people to understand that Having a good job and a high salary doesn't guarantee financial security. True wealth comes from assets, not from work. School teaches us to work for money, but it doesn't teach us how to make money work for us. At first, he struggled to get the book published. No publisher wanted to take a chance on the idea, believing there wasn't an audience for this kind of knowledge. But Kiyosaki believed so strongly in his message that he decided to publish it himself. What happened next was a revolution in financial education. In the following chapters, we'll see how Rich Dad, Poor Dad became a global bestseller and how its ideas transformed the lives of millions. When Robert Kiyosaki published Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he had no idea he was about to spark a revolution in the way people think about money. The book started modestly. He financed the publication himself and spread his message wherever he could. But little by little, the idea began to gain momentum. What made the book stand out was its simple and direct approach. Kiyosaki didn't use complicated terms or difficult financial concepts. Instead, he told his story in an accessible way, contrasting the lessons from his Rich Dad and Poor Dad to show how the right mindset can transform anyone's financial life. The message resonated with millions of readers. People of all ages and social backgrounds began to realize that the traditional system of working and saving wasn't enough to achieve financial independence. Many had never heard about the importance of acquiring assets, investing in real estate, building passive income streams, or developing financial intelligence until they read the book. The genius of Rich Dad, Poor Dad was in showing that school teaches you to be an employee, but it doesn't teach you to be an entrepreneur or investor. The fear of making mistakes prevents many people from pursuing wealth. The rich buy assets that generate money, while the middle class and the poor spend everything on liabilities that drain their income. With its unexpected success, the book kept gaining more and more readers, quickly reaching bestseller lists. Word of mouth turned Rich Dad, Poor Dad into a global phenomenon. Soon, Kiyosaki was being invited for interviews, lectures, and TV appearances. He became one of the world's leading financial educators, helping millions rethink their finances and pursue financial freedom. But Kiyosaki's impact didn't stop there. The success of his book was just the beginning of a much bigger mission. In the next chapters, we'll see how he expanded his message, created new content, and developed tools to continue teaching people how to escape the rat race and achieve financial independence. The success of Rich Dad, Poor Dad wasn't a coincidence. Robert Kiyosaki touched on a truth that many people felt but couldn't quite express. The traditional system doesn't teach anyone how to become rich. Most people work hard, pay bills, and wait for retirement without realizing that there are smarter ways to build wealth. As the book's popularity grew, Kiyosaki realized there was a huge demand for more financial education. So, he began expanding his message through seminars, courses, and new books. This led to the creation of the Rich Dad brand, which became a financial education empire. He published several follow-up books, each covering specific topics such as The Business of the 21st Century, where he discusses the power of business and network, marketing as an alternative to traditional employment, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, teaching how to build a strong asset portfolio, The Conspiracy of the Rich, exposing how the global financial system is designed to benefit the few while keeping the majority at a disadvantage. In addition to books, Kiyosaki created educational games like Cash Flow, a board game designed to teach people how to think like investors. He believed that financial learning should be fun and practical, and this game helped many understand concepts like assets, liabilities, cash flow, and financial independence in a dynamic way. Over the years, he also leveraged the internet and social media to spread his message. He created videos, podcasts, and online courses, always emphasizing the importance of financial mindset and entrepreneurial thinking. But not everything was easy. Just as his message gained him thousands of followers, it also attracted critics. Many traditional economists disagreed with his approach, arguing that investing in real estate or building businesses wasn't as simple as he made it seem. Others accused him of encouraging excessive risk-taking. However, Kiyosaki remained firm in his beliefs. The greatest risk is relying on a job and expecting the government or retirement funds to secure your future. He argued that learning about money is a personal responsibility and that everyone should take charge of their own financial freedom. In the next chapters, we'll explore how his teachings remain relevant and how his philosophy can be applied in practice to transform anyone's life. As Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the entire Rich Dad philosophy grew in popularity, Robert Kiyosaki also began facing criticism and controversy. After all, when someone challenges the traditional system and introduces a new way of thinking about money, not everyone is quick to embrace the change. Many traditional economists and financial educators questioned his ideas, arguing that he oversimplified complex concepts and that not everyone could successfully apply his strategies. Other critics claimed that his books lacked practical steps and focused more on mindset shifts, which, for some, seemed insufficient for achieving real wealth. Additionally, Kiyosaki stirred controversy by openly criticizing pension systems, banks, and even the government. He warned that relying on Social Security, retirement plans, or conservative investments as the sole source of financial security was a huge mistake. To him, people needed to take control of their finances by building passive income streams and acquiring assets that generate money independently of active work. Another major point of contention was his strong advocacy for investing in real estate and entrepreneurship, while many experts promoted traditional investments like stocks and mutual funds. Kiyosaki believed that real estate provided consistent cash flow and unique tax benefits that other investments didn't offer, making it a powerful tool for those seeking financial freedom. Despite the criticism, his philosophy continued to spread worldwide. People who applied his teachings began sharing their success stories, proving that his ideas work for those who take action and put knowledge into practice. But for Kiyosaki, teaching about money was never just about getting rich, it was about freedom. He believed that true wealth wasn't just having a lot of money in the bank, but having control over one's time, making decisions without relying on a boss or the government, and creating a secure financial future for oneself and one's family. In the next chapters, we'll explore Kiyosaki's key lessons and how his philosophy can be applied in practice to escape the rat race and build a solid financial future. Despite the criticism and controversy, Robert Kiyosaki remained committed to his mission, teaching people to think like the rich and build their own financial freedom. Over the years, he refined and reinforced some of the most important lessons that guided his journey and that of millions of people around the world. One of the core concepts of his philosophy is the difference between assets and liabilities. According to him, assets are anything that puts money in your pocket, while liabilities are anything that takes money out of your pocket. It sounds simple, but this idea completely changes the way we view our finances. For example, many people believe that buying a home is an investment. However, Kiyosaki argues that if the house doesn't generate income, it's actually a liability because it comes with ongoing expenses like taxes, maintenance, and mortgage interest. On the other hand, a rental property that brings in more income than it costs is an asset. Another fundamental principle he teaches is that the rich don't work for money, they make money work for them. This means that instead of relying on a paycheck, they build passive income streams, such as real estate investments, businesses, and financial assets that continue generating money even when they're not actively working. Kiyosaki also emphasizes the power of financial mindset. He believes that the way we think about money determines our actions and ultimately our results. Many people assume that money is scarce, that investing is too risky, or that only special people can become wealthy. But for him, wealth starts with knowledge and a willingness to learn and take action. Additionally, he constantly stresses the importance of lifelong financial education. The world is always changing, and those who don't adapt get left behind. According to him, instead of simply saving money in a bank and hoping for the best, people should actively study investments, business, and finance to make smarter decisions. But perhaps Kiyosaki's greatest lesson is this: financial freedom is within reach for anyone willing to learn and take action. The system isn't designed to teach us how to be free, so it's up to each individual to seek the knowledge needed to escape the rat race and build a better future. In the next chapter, we'll explore why Kiyosaki's ideas are more relevant than ever and how anyone can apply them in practice to transform their financial life. How to apply Kiyosaki's principles in real life. The principles taught by Robert Kiyosaki go far beyond theory. They are practical tools that anyone can use to change their financial future. But many people ask, where do I start? How can I apply these concepts in my own life? Step 1. Change your mindset about money. Instead of thinking like an employee who depends on a paycheck, you need to adopt the mindset of an investor and entrepreneur. This means seeing opportunities where others see only obstacles and continuously seeking. financial knowledge to make smarter decisions. Step 2. Escape the rat race. The goal is to stop relying solely on work to cover expenses. To do this, you need to start building assets that generate passive income. These assets can include rental properties, which provide monthly cash flow, investments in stocks or dividend funds, which generate periodic income, owning a business or creating additional income streams, which allow you to earn money without being tied to a job. Another crucial point is learning to differentiate smart spending from harmful spending. Many people spend all their money on liabilities such as expensive cars, designer clothes, and financed vacations, without realizing they are only increasing their expenses. Kiyosaki teaches that before spending money on luxury, you must ensure that your assets generate enough income to cover those expenses without compromising your financial future. Additionally, it is essential to invest in your financial education. This means studying investments, entrepreneurship, and strategies to increase your income. Books, courses, mentorships, and even educational games like cash flow can help develop this financial intelligence. Finally, Kiyosaki teaches that the path to financial freedom requires action. Many people read books about money, watch motivational videos, but never put anything into practice. The secret is to take the first step, even if it's small, and keep learning along the way. What he proved with his own story is that it doesn't matter where you come from or how much money you have today. What really matters is what you are willing to do to change your financial reality. In the final part of this script, we will reflect on the impact of Kiyosaki's ideas and how you can use this knowledge to build a more secure and independent financial future. Robert Kiyosaki's journey shows us that wealth is not just about money, it's about mindset, knowledge, and action. He wasn't born rich, had no special advantages, and faced failures along the way. But by applying the lessons from his rich dad, he was able to escape the rat race and achieve financial independence. Kiyosaki's greatest legacy is not just his own success story, but the impact he has had on the lives of millions of people worldwide. His books, lectures, and courses have helped awaken financial awareness in many who once believed they were trapped in a limited financial destiny. Perhaps the most important lesson we can take from his philosophy is this: money is not the problem, lack of financial education is. No matter how much you earn, if you don't know how to manage and invest your money, you will always be vulnerable to financial crises. On the other hand, even those who start with little can build wealth over time provided they make the right decisions. And now, the question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? Learning cannot stop at theory. If you want to transform your financial life, you need to take the first step. Whether it's investing in assets, learning more about money, or creating new income streams, the important thing is to start. As Kiyosaki always says, the future belongs to those who can control their own financial destiny. Now that you know his story and teachings, it's time to apply these principles and build a more secure, stable, and prosperous financial future. The path to financial freedom is right in front of you. All you have to do is choose to follow it.